Pamela Strawgate. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I hope you are too.
I'm muddling along in autumn sunshine. It's all good. So, Pamela, rescuer, supporter, valedictorian of SIETAR France, great interculturalist, worker of miracles with the many, the washed and the unwashed. What topic would you like to talk about today?
Well, after much contemplation, I think we can talk about the people we work with that think they know sometimes more than us professionals and help us or hinder us, depending.
So, yes, we might riff on that. The thought police, the fun suppressors. Have you got any names for them?
Not that I can say in polite company.
Exactly. It'd have to be beep. No, exactly. So it seems to be there's us, there's you. I mean, just give us a hint. How would you describe yourself? Facilitator, coach, trainer. What do you use for yourself?
Pretty much all three of those: trainer, coach, facilitator, depending on the need.
So you're using proven materials. That's important to point out. And by the way, who is in your classroom? Who is your normal target?
I do a lot of mobility training, so people moving to other countries, and the few countries that I'm expert in, that the thought police shouldn't be telling me what I know better than them.
Exactly.
Or people coming to France. I do soft skills training, transversal trainings for managing virtual teams. So I work primarily with, global professionals.
Yeah, exactly. So you're an adult. The classroom is full of adults, which makes it doubly galling, not in the French sense of gall, doubly galling that you've got these people. There's a thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with just enough knowledge interfere. If they had a lot more knowledge, they'd let it fly and they would trust you, the life experience professional. It's so irritating. Have you had any examples of these fun grabbers interfering with your product?
There was this one person who actually kind of fits that profile quite well. And I was doing a training for couple arriving in France. The wife was Brazilian, prepared the training, had a great, she was thrilled, she was happy, she was grateful. So was the husband, because happy wife, happy life. I sent the training to the training company, the PowerPoint to the training company, so that they could verify it, transfer it to PDF, send to the client. And the training company person said to me, by the way, I took out a few slides because, we don't do that stuff anymore. That's so old, and, we've moved on from that. And I was, what? After the fact, after I presented the material, you're telling me that it's not good? Why didn't you talk to me? Because actually that's one of the things the client actually preferred, that resonated with her, helped her, and made sense for her. And she's like, oh, really? I'm like, we're all about dialogue, and communication in our field.
It's Dunning-Kruger all over, isn't it? So that person's maybe heard that thing is out of date. Now, I'm passionate about some things really being out of date, but if anyone used the, whatever it is, whatever's going to be, the iceberg or this, that, or the other, I would defend their free speech and democratic right to use anything. I could use a kitchen chair. Look, here's a sunglasses case. I can use that. Don't tell me not to. I will bring the magic out of this. That's the facilitator. It's not the material. You can give a fantastic facilitator some pretty basic materials. They will spin it into gold. Frustrating.
I think that's one of our major, for successful at what we do, and our clients, our learners, walk away and feel more confident and comfortable in faced with these new situations. It's one of our skills. What makes us not Dunning-Kruger, is we can adapt, we can read, we can adjust, we can figure out what will be most impactful and effective for that person. And we can pull it out of the hat because we have so much
I love it. And it's not just 3 models. Really, your value to those people is your lived experience. The last Brazilian who came to Paris, what was their experience? It's that. So who cares if we have a model, if we have this, if we have that? But I'll just have a quick whinge myself. I always find also these principals who employ trainers, facilitators, coaches, presenters, keynote speakers also don't really want excessive income. And so, I'll write something pretty amazing. Actually, I've written a book on it. So it's basically influencing an effective communication to get, technically, it's called bums on seats. And it works. You can get literally 10 times as many people to a webinar with a series of 11 to 14 paragraphs. And these are devices which have been proven by 100 years of American advertising. America, love it or loathe it or leave it. They have 6% of the world's population and account for 23% of the world's economy because of these things. And I will get these killjoys saying, oh no, Matthew, we're not using that. Well, use this rubbish, which is absolutely random and won't work. Okay, maybe I won't get into the top tax bracket. Maybe I won't be an exile in St. Moritz this winter. Absolute nonsense. Right. But let's quickly reverse it and praise the editor who can save lives. Have you got an incident where someone should have stepped in like an adult and go, no, don't use that? What have you got?
Actually, there are numbered incidents. I think this is talks about that. I'm not a really touchy-feely person. I mean, I've been living in France for more than half my life, but I was, educated in the US, so my fundamental approach and worldview is kind of really direct, explicit, concrete. And a lot of trainings that I participate in start off with, a touchy-feely icebreaker, stand, take deep breaths, center yourself. Listen to imagine you hear water, bubbling brook, or whatever it is. And I usually, just turn off my video if it's virtual and, do something else. Or if I'm in the room, I kind of back up into a corner somewhere. And that's just not my thing. And often I'm not alone in that. I have been in many rooms where there were a whole line of us in the back of the room, not really comfortable with that. So it's kind of, maybe.
I love it. Yes, I'm just thinking of a line. Just everybody, we're all humans. Get in touch now with your pelvic floor. Yeah, it's not really. It's not going to float, is it? It's not going to fly. Very good, very good. And I might tell something you told earlier, unless you want to do it. The 15 out of 10 title and the 3 out of 10 content, and you're locked in that room at a conference. I mean, even virtually. I suppose you're not these days. The magic, the only positive of COVID, you're now not locked in a lie-based title in a conference outside of the capital city, an utter prisoner to fate. I'd now like to talk for 3 hours about essentialism. I suppose we are free from that, but that's when you realise the moderator, the editor, the Congress organizer really should have worked harder to chop out the rubbish or just test the quality, But there we are.
I actually went to a conference like that, and I'm like, I can't wait until they send us the email to evaluate the different things, because some of these were just like, oh my God, these people should not be invited back. In my opinion, for the next conference, these people definitely should not come back. And they didn't send out an evaluation. And I was like, oh, come on, they must have known something.
No, exactly. Conspiracy theory. Very good. One final story, then we'll wrap this up. Was lots of academics, and there were a few warnings, and there were 2 sections to it. So we saw these academics. One person, I've told this story a few times, knew probably more about educating people than maybe anyone else in that country. Mm-hmm. One of the worst presenters on earth. Irony of ironies. I suggested, in the spirit of facilitation, shall I provide, or someone else can provide, the basics of presentation skills for academics? I was shot down with, you can't teach academics how to present. And so the crime and the pain continues. Deary me, deary me. So,
I
Pamela,
fully concur. There are some people that think expertise is enough and don't understand the incredible importance of delivery.
delivery. Or my wife would say that the German construct of education, if it's not painful, it's not useful. All right, Pamela, thanks for joining us today. Fantastic to have you on the show. Thanks for your examples, which have brought a lot to life. And we've had a bit of a rant and rave, which I quite like, quite therapeutic. So thank you, Pamela. Thank the viewers for your
Thank you, Matthew.
continued loyalty to the channel. We'll see you again soon. Okay, ta-ta. Here we go.
Bye. Bye-bye.